How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Gagg. I'm Clayton.
And I'm Logan.
And thanks to last week's technical difficulties, we'll probably be returning to the same subject as we were and finish talking about some video games because that's an extensive knowledge that we'll never find the end of. So,
well, that's due to the fact that they come out with games every day.
Yeah, but we've also been playing games since back in the old PlayStation and Nintendo days. So, I think your cat was trying to reach under the door. It was distracting. I saw the hand come under and tickle, and I just completely distracted me from everything. But yeah, video games. I know last time we were talking about I was doing a replay through
The Evil
Within, which I've not touched since, but I got plenty of other knowledge beyond that one. And then
I actually, on my gaming channel today, I started a game by the name of Death Road to Canada.
I've heard of Death Road to Canada, but I've not played it.
It's like Oregon Trails, but instead of Oregon, you're going to Canada. And you're fighting zombies. And you're driving cars.
Yeah, that's true. There were zombies in Oregon Trail.
Well, I'm sure somebody ate somebody. But it's actually super entertaining. I made it 20 minutes in until I killed both of the people that you get.
After seeing you earlier playing Atomic Heart,
yeah.
After seeing that, it made me want to play BioShock Infinite again because definitely did it in the wrong order. But I bought a BioShock set when Infinite came out for PS3, I think. And when I bought it, it came with the other ones, but it was for Infinite. So I started playing Infinite.
PS4 came out with the same one.
Yeah, but my more point of everybody else that started BioShock at the start would have played the submarine-esque one where you're in the dark, deep, and all that. And I started on Infinite, which is just completely flipped from what BioShock is in the first.
I've played a totality of probably 12 minutes collective among the 3 BioShock games.
BioShock Infinite, I really enjoyed because it's the bright colors. I think it just really pulls you in.
Isn't that the one where you're in a town that's flying?
Yeah, you got that, and then it's about the same time of that as I started playing, not Thief, Dishonored. Yeah, I played the first Dishonored. I love it because they're the.
It's a stealth game, right?
Yeah, well, all games can be stealth games. Depends.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, I more meant it's meant to be, but it's just as much fun to just run through there and absolutely destroy everything as is. Because Dishonored's one of the more fun games. I know it's one game that I actually did complete through. I couldn't tell you how it went now. It's been years, but it's one of the only games that I've ever start to finish.
I can honestly say I don't think I've ever started a game and finished it.
Very few for me, but
I have finished a game but didn't start it, or I've started a game and didn't finish it.
I have. Well, I mean, the games I play. My games are the ones that are they want you to have 1,000 hours and still not beat it. Or, if you're good, maybe you would have, but, getting Platinum God on Binding of Isaac, that's not going to happen ever. I'm not even, 20% of the way to it. Whereas you got people, 1,000th episode, time to swap over to something else because they beat every boss with every character, and I'm like, no. No, I'm
I just started playing a permadeath series again of Monfazoo.
Again.
Yeah. I made 3 episodes and died the 4th.
I did a permadeath. I didn't record it, but I did a permadeath of 7 days back before it got so.
Have a permadeath mode? Or
no, I just whenever you die, you just completely new game.
Oh, I would definitely be the one to be like, no, that didn't count.
No,
I did. That didn't count either. No, I didn't count.
I did. I tried that. And I did one of them to where I died within the first 5 minutes trying to get to shelter, so I just died, and I was like, there's not even a point. Nothing happened, and I didn't get to keep anything, so what's the point in starting in a whole new server? I looted 2 houses. But no, I did one, and it was back when I was playing it heavy enough to where I got that 300 hours put in. Mm-hmm. And when I played it, I did a playthrough to the point of I built a kill shelter, basically, of there was a moat with the big log spikes surrounded by the wood spikes, and then there was no clear ways, kind of how you did your series with Cheyenne recently, where I did the climb a ladder and then have a bridge where you run and jump a 3-block gap with a bunch of spikes below, so if they follow you up they just fall because they can't make a 3. You were telling me about it, but I had done that so many years prior. Yours is like you got the trapdoor difference on yours. I did the iron gates sideways to where you could shoot through them because that was the only thing at the time that you could shoot through instead of the wood slats. So I did iron gates around it, and I did the spikes, and I just did. I would go and grind out so much to just get concrete walls on that bottom layer, and then I got them up to the like reinforced steel, and then I just got bored because I was like, well, I've already got. Because this is back before they did 1 through 6, they did the like 100 through 600. I was like, I got level 600 everything. I have killed everything.
Now on there, have you seen anything of that yet?
Not for the new update.
Okay, so before, you know how you would go and you'd have to upgrade like a skill to increase it? That's what the last alpha? No, on this one, it's books. You know, you find all those fucking magazines and shit?
You know, I think I have seen that.
Yeah, so now you have to find 100 fucking magazines. So it's, what the hell is it? It's called Tools Digest.
Kinda how they did it before. It was, you could find them, and if you already learned the skill that was in it, you could use it to upgrade a point into that. Which I liked that system more than...
This one is stupid.
I didn't like the old system they did where they did the, like, you have to upgrade this class and then you can upgrade the individuals. Like, I didn't like that.
Well, this here is, so you have to find, it's like 18 books or some shit, and it upgrades your primitive tools to level 5, not 6. And then when you get to like 21 or something, you unlock iron tools. Then you have to find another like 30 to get the steel tools, and they also only cap out at 5. Then you have to get all of them again, like to fill it out all the way to 100 to get level 6 steel tools.
I always like the
that was loud.
The original system that I started on anyway.
Yeah, the 600 point one
was the 600 point, but you could upgrade your stuff through. Now I'm not talking through the cheatsy way of just sitting there and making 600 of them. But when you would do things, you would get upgrades. So like when you're mining, you would make a tool, and then as you mine, it just fills in the bar instead of having to spin the skill points to go up in that.
See that one?
To where it did like 0 through 100 points on it. So it was kind of similar to if you ever played RuneScape back in the day. Like some real OG, like you had to grind out doing that activity.
No, I've never played.
See, I like that more. To where you had the class perk to where it was like get 10% in mining skill if you buy it, but also you had 1 through 100 of mining skills.
So I mean, this here, I guess, with the magazine part, it gives you the grinding factor of you have to continue playing, so it increases the longevity of the game.
Yeah, so I think that's why they're still in alphas. They just flop around so much on what system they want to use. But honestly, the grinding system I thought was better because there was the perk pick set there, and then there was also grinding.
The one that they did have whenever me and you actually played, whenever I would just mass craft, 1,000 axes and magically have.
See, my issue with that though is just because it was console. The console.
Well, I'm just saying that one itself was awful. Don't get me wrong, it was cool to, by the end of day 1, max tools, but no, because by that time you're like, why am I even playing? It's fucking boring now.
That's what I like, is it Dead Island that had the bit to where the more you craft the item, the more durability it gets? There was some form of game to where you did crafting bits, and the more you crafted it, the better it was as you crafted it. But it was definitely one of those like get duct tape, get nails kind of crafty bits. I just can't remember. Like maybe it was is it Dead Rising where you're locked in the mall?
Yeah.
Is it that one maybe? Where you go find, and the more times you make that weapon, the more hits you get with it. 3 is the one that I played where you're locked in the mall. Where you 3. I think they did multiple for it, but 3 is the one, the yellow jacket guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that I played.
Like,
yeah, I mean, it's the same idea.
It's the same guy too, like the main character.
I thought that was the only thing they did change. Was the main character. So I thought for 2 it was the Harley Quinn looking chick.
I don't think so. I think it's all the same guy, because his name's very prominent.
Well, either way, I've played 3.
Or I could be wrong, and everybody in this, that watches is gonna call me an idiot.
That's a lot of my games that I played or usually it's weird that it's like just first person adventure or platformer. So I definitely like old style platformer, doing like some Crash Bandicoot, Super Mario, like some retro gaming, you know. That's my area of expertise.
I also started a playthrough of Sons of the Forest.
I do like Sons of the Forest. I just wanted to wait till there was more content. Plus, I'm still kind of waiting
for it to come out on console.
Well, more of a bit of like, I want a PC, but that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and I have one, so I know it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I kind of got sad with the PC that's now holding down that table in your garage that was meant for office work. As soon as like 4K became a thing, and it was just no longer possible for me to play anything.
It has no chances of being able to even.
Well, in its defense, I think any computer that gets Sims so modded to the point that where clothes just don't exist, it's usually the death of a computer. I don't think Sims was meant to be porn, and once you do that, it's a problem.
Look, you say that as if I'm the one that did that?
No,
I don't play Sims.
Yeah, with clothes.
What name? That was...
No, actually, that was my wife, not me. She, for whatever reason, just got bored, and you couldn't raise a family anymore, and it'd be enough. It had to be seeing the family made. Yeah, I didn't like it either. It was excited when she's like, "Look what I did," and I was like, "All right, time to ask you to move out."
Time to dial that back a little bit.
Ouch. You guys seen the meme where it's like not him seeing my Sims 4 account where I have him married to my Sim and we have 3 kids together? Hers was like not him walking in on my Sim blowing his on the couch with no clothes on. Yeah, it was weird. She that's the only game she plays, and I guess it just wasn't enough. Baby update took too long, so she goes, "Well, let's see the rest of the process."
Ah, man.
Yeah. But, no, I like to stick to like Binding of the Isaac.
Yeah,
Binding of the Isaac is my favorite porn game. Binding of Isaac, I think just the amount of different stuff they add to it and the more different combinations of things.
Aren't they done with that though?
I think they did another release since the last time I've played it.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be it, right? They've only done 3, 2.
They did Binding of Isaac, then they went for a whole new game and did Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Well, it's not a whole new game; it's the same thing. But
I think it's 2 whole different downloads though. From Isaac to Rebirth is.
Maybe.
Yeah, because original Isaac looked like somebody went and drew it with a pen and then slapped it into a game. Rebirth is the one that we played, and then Rebirth, what you're thinking is not really a DLC but an addition. It's like an alpha update essentially. Was Rebirth to Afterbirth Plus, and then they released Requiem maybe, or that might be the board game version. But they released another like update to it that did a whole different like pathing system to go to like the underworld basically.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually
I suck ass at that game.
Really fun, but it's just the fact that to play Isaac you have to have like an hour of your time just to do one run. Other than that, it's fantastic. Love the game. Would love to play it for hours. It's just I already bought it on the PlayStation, and then Caitlin kind of took it over, and I just don't want to buy it on the Xbox. It kind of kills me to buy the same game twice.
Yeah, I just can't.
Yeah,
I'm terrible at that game, and I don't know why.
I like any game like that. That one, Enter the Gungeon. I was playing.
You like games that make your blood boil.
You're not wrong. I also like Souls. Dark Souls. Nope. I started on 3. Got him to buy it. It was a grand old time because he was like, I've never played Dark Souls. It's like, you ain't gonna like it. I know how you are with games. It's not gonna be yours. And he's pretty good at fighting the bosses, but like there's just a certain level set to where there's no longer fighting the boss is even possible without grinding, and he hates the grinding part. So it was like I would play it for like 3 hours just grinding up the souls to let him upgrade to fight the boss because I couldn't fight the bosses for shit.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a combo method. Well, it's the same way we played Pokemon when we played it on the Switch. I don't know the movesets or what's super effective versus what. So like I'm all fine with going and catching them and training them by fighting everybody, but when it comes to like what you're supposed to win, that's all you.
Yeah, I don't have the attention span to get to that point. That's why I never finish a game. I've played every single Pokemon game they've ever made. Have I beat them? No. Have I made it to like midway point? At least twice.
It's actually, I love when I do find a game that I'm just basically every game he's got better, but if I do find a game that I am good at, it is infinitely better. Like playing the original Crash Bandicoots, we got the remake they did for the PlayStation 4, and we would get to the bosses for that. He just sat there and go and go and go and die, and he's like, "This is stupid. They made it harder." And I went in there and beat him first try. He goes, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "It's the rule of 3." He goes, "What the hell is the rule of 3?" And I was like, "Every good platformer, you got to hit them 3 times, and you got to just they're gonna have a different thing every time, and you just got to jump on them." That's the classic for it, because it's the first boss where you go and you get to see the big butt crack, the tribe leader spinning his thing around. Sitting there fighting, then he just keeps dying and dying. I was like, "Let me see it." And he goes, "How the first try? Are you kidding me?" And I was like, I played a lot of Crash Bandicoot growing up. That was like the only game we had on the PlayStation.
I played when I was like 6.
Nah, we grew up, it was Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation. It was Tetris Attack on the Super Nintendo.
Ew.
And then if I went over, it's actually, I couldn't tell you how the actual game goes. I just remember it making noises at you over and over. Whenever you would like do a Tetris and you just hear, "Wow!"
Do a Tetris?
Yeah. Is there a different term for that?
I don't know, but I don't think it's
the
called Tetris.
No, I think when the Tetris is when you get all of them in a row. Is that not a Tetris? I think that's a Tetris.
No.
I don't think this is like an old person like going to the Walmart or the
Facebook.
You do a Tetris.
It's definitely an old person doing a Tetris.
No, I think that's called doing a Tetris. I don't think you get a straight line. That doesn't sound right. You do a Tetris.
Nah, you just.
Then what's the point of the name?
I don't know.
It's doing a Tetris.
We're looking that up after this.
It's doing a Tetris. You're gonna go look. I just told you.
We're looking it up. I'm a type in.
A Tetris.
I'm a type in on Google. What is doing a Tetris?
It's when you put blocks down until you get the straight line, and then you did a Tetris.
No.
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure that's not.
But anyway, we also played the Ninja Turtles game on
like
Super
the
Nintendo.
Teenage ones?
No, the middle-aged Ninja Turtles.
Oh, fuck those guys.
No, I just remember you would go through, and April O'Neil, anytime you took more than 2 seconds to get to the next area, would just pop up and flash on the screen, and you just hear the loudest alarm going off. Yeah, she just like, ding, 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 ding. Like, you're supposed to be in the next area. I'm like, I get it, April. I'm trying to find the hidden pizza.
Yeah.
Like, leave me alone for 2 seconds. I already fought 16 members of the Foot Clan. Give me a break. What did you do?
Exactly, and I just want a slice of pizza.
That's what I'm saying. Because it was like an extra life bonus to just go find this. And she's like, "Hey, come on, let's go." And I'm like, "Why'd you put secrets if you wanted me to not find them?"
Well, that's what the point is. She's supposed to give you urgency. That way you forget about the secrets.
But, that and Battletoads.
Battletoads, we played it. That's pretty entertaining.
I did like the new one. The comedy in the new one was just too good. Like, we didn't make it far enough to hear all of it.
What did he say that?
The first scene when he's like, somebody's breaking in. He goes, "We ain't got nothing." He goes, "You're right. I'll go apologize." It's probably the greatest first 5 minutes in gaming history.
That's awesome.
But just any game with comedy like that. That's why I try to get you to do. You talk about doing games that you haven't done anything near. You should try the Trover Saves the Universe, because you said you were playing the Fractured Butthole.
Mm-hmm.
You should try Trover Saves the Universe. Was like Rick and Morty based. So his whole point is that he has 2 little guys for eyes. Instead of having actual eye, he got 2 smaller people to go in his eye holes. Yeah, and it's comedy of them talking, and then you got somebody in the background. It's High on Life, the one that released not too long is that. But
did you actually ever play more of that than what?
High on Life?
Yeah.
I haven't even actually played it myself. I watched you maybe.
Yeah, I played it for 2 hours.
I never ended up actually getting to it because I just I saw the ending bits and it kind of ruined it for me. Other than just the fact that me, Trinity, and Brody went around for at least 2 weeks going, "Let's do it, let's do it." Yeah, that was the best part of the game to be brought out. But Trover Saves the Universe was another one of those where you could just tell they ad-libbed it as they were going.
Ad-lib? What the hell is that?
So if you've ever
I
watched
can think
any,
of is Mad Libs.
yeah, kind of. You just go and you make it up as you're sitting there. Like we do this, how we have absolutely no plan of what we're doing. That's what they did with the game. They would just like start a conversation and just keep going. That's how they do. I know you're not a huge Rick and Morty fan, but the episodes they do like interdimensional cable, to where it's like stupid commercials and stuff. Where he's like, "I'm ants in my eyes, Johnson, and I've got ants in my eyes." That's just making it up on the fly.
Ants in my eyes.
Yeah.
That would hurt.
Well, he's blind and he sells appliances, so he like goes and points at a toaster and he's like, "We've got microwaves, we've got dishwashers," and it's like a refrigerator. It's the comedy bit behind it.
And yeah, that's how you sell it though. And then they pop up. This is $9.99.99 for this washer, and it's a toaster.
I'd like to point out that okay. You got the timer. We changed our camera around in hopes to fix the audio, so hopefully this sounds way better than any of the videos we've done. But we don't have to use this watch because we can't see us. I'm just staring at a brick of a phone right now. But it should hopefully be better because his phone's got like 17 cameras on the back.
And if it doesn't record better sound, at least it'll be better video.
Yeah, so you can look at us even better while you can't hear us. So if it didn't work, you're welcome.
Did I tell you I started Fallout 4 again?
You didn't tell me on here, but you had mentioned about talking about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I started Fallout 4. Made it like 3 hours in, where you first meet the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I want to look at the new mods, because I've not looked at them in like years. So I was like, fuck it. Added a bunch, loaded up the game. It crashed. And then I was like, fuck. Well, so I went to load in without the mods there. And I couldn't because none of the fucking world was there. The ground was gone, but the buildings were there.
I think it's all Fallouts, because you remember me telling you I was redoing New Vegas a couple months ago?
Yeah.
I was playing it and I got like maybe 2 hours deep and it just started doing that audio clip thing where like I fell to the ground, you just hear of the same thing going through. And I've just not restarted it because I'm afraid that all that progress is just gone.
Well, I think that's due to the fact of trying to play an older game on an updated console.
I think that's just Fallout, man.
I remember Fallout games are so good, and you don't ever, like, when they were popular, you don't ever remember hearing all this dumb shit happening.
Because I think when Fallout 4 first came out, I remember my cousin playing it, and I went over to his house, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm playing Fallout 4, but it's modded." And I was like, "What do you mean it's modded?" He goes, "Yeah, you know, like the Fat Man, I think is what the missile." He goes, "Yeah, watch this," and he shoots, and the whole game just crashed because he modded it to be a nuke. So he goes, "Yeah, I try not to use this one, but just watch this." And boom, the whole screen just turns white, shuts off. Like the whole console just has a freak out, and I was like, maybe you shouldn't do that. And he was like, "Yeah, but it's funny though, huh?"
The reason my game crashed was I turned the fucking Tommy gun looking thing into a Fat Man launcher.
I think
so I was, but they were mini nukes.
He did increased enemy, and I think he did like reverse sizing. So like things that are supposed to be bigger are smaller. So he had the reverse of like a super mutant coming like yay tall running at him. But then he would have something like
midgets.
I don't know if geckos are still in for, but it'd be something like that should be the size of a gecko. It's just death claw size, just running at him. So he's like, "Yeah, watch this," and he just spawns, and it just looks like an NPC town because they're just everywhere, and you just hear like a shrunken super mutant voice going, "Hey you!" Just real helium voice running after him.
Big.
Yeah. But the bullets didn't change size, so you just see like anytime they'd shoot something at him, it'd just be full size, but they're like beep.
Yeah, but that's why my game crashed. I turned a Tommy gun into a nuke launcher. So it was 30 nukes.
I tried to mod 7 days one time, and I remember it was such a pain trying to learn on my own that it crashed my game trying to install. Whatever I did it so wrong that the game just wouldn't even launch.
See, have you seen any of the mods for 7 days now?
I had seen some up to the last alpha, like some of the like Darkness Falls, The Walking Dead there's a bunch that I've watched playthroughs, but I've not seen any for like this alpha. But I remember, like I said, I was trying to do, I think it was the Walking Dead one because it had other guns. So I was like, that's really awesome. I want more guns put into the game. And when I tried it, whatever I did it so wrong that even the launcher, like where it popped up before, I don't know if it still does it for current day, but it would pull up a launcher going like, are you ready to launch your game? And I'd have to click yes. And that just fried. I had to have
it doesn't do that anymore.
I had to have assistance through one of our old former friends. He came over and helped me like clear it out of the computer because he's like, yeah, you did this here and you were supposed to do this, and I was like, I don't even want mods anymore. Just turn them off.
Yeah.
Like I give up.
Now there's one like where hell fucking rises, so you fight demons and shit instead of.
Yeah, see, that'd be cool. That's the thing I like about 7 Days as well, is it's just so expandable through mods. It's just as much as they update it and change the system.
Because I also don't know, so me and my wife play it. So if I was to do a mod, but I would want her to be able to play with me, so therefore she'd also have to have a mod. And that just seems like a lot of work.
Modding,
potentially, or most likely, just want the original version back.
Yeah, the way I've gathered with mods is like, if you know how to do it, it's just the easiest thing in the world. You just like, all right, download this, click this, add this, we're good, and you can just undo it.
So what I like about mods for, you know, the game The Long Drive?
Yes.
It has mods.
I think almost anything does, truly. If you look, I'm just saying
like
anything that has like a remote following.
Look at that game and you tell me if like
that game actually looks extremely moddable.
Really?
Just because of how like low
res
graphics it is.
I guess that's fair.
But
it has millions of mods, and all you do is it's a launcher in the background. You load it up before the game.
Yeah.
Enable these mods.
Right. So it's like a
close that mod launcher out, and then open the game, and you're ready to go.
What game is it? Has one like that?
And then if you want to turn them off, you just close the game, open the launcher.
We had a game we played
disable.
You had to enable cheats before you started, but you could just pull up the cheat menu as long as you enabled cheats.
Arc.
There you go. That's what it was. Yeah. You had to enable the cheat menu before it would let you do anything, but once you enabled it, we would just like make game just force tame.
It was called like what, admin something? Force
yeah, you just like once you type in the code to turn on the admin things, then it would just be like admin code such and such force tame. So you just delete out that last bit, because it would also be like admin spawn. Yeah, that's honestly, as much as we like to play games on playthrough, after a minute we just get to where it's like, I don't want to take the 4 hours to do this thing. So we just went around, and every time there was an update to Arc, we'd buy the DLC, play it real for like 2-3 hours, and then we would just slap on force tame. And we're like, hey, what's the strongest thing in this update? And we just spawn it, force tame it, run around, kill the whole thing, and just never touch it again.
Until the next DLC came out.
We had a true like LAN party experience of like Nintendo days. We'd pull the couch up to the TV, had it setting on the dining room table, and we just sat there for a few hours after work. So like while his wife was at work, we'd sit there playing, and then she'd bring us home some Taco Bell, and then we'd play like another hour of it before we split and like watch movies.
I want some Taco Bell.
Taco Bell does sound good. That's a tangent.
I have like $17 to last me all week. I had to pay for that dog that I don't have anymore.
You didn't just pass that off with him?
I wish.
But yeah.
I still owe so much money on that paper.
Tangents, Logan, tangents. People get upset when we don't talk about the same thing the whole video.
Shut up, Michael. I mean, Clayton.
But oh, dude, speaking of games, I know we're short on time, but I don't know how we missed the best game. Should be coming out shortly.
That game looks like cancer.
To be fair, I didn't like the idea that it's going to be like not 7 days, like a Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th kind of game. I hate that. I wish they would have done.
It should have been a story based.
If they would have done a story based, kind of like Saw the video game was back in the day. If they had done like you are on the ship, had to sneak around the clowns, do things interacting with them. So basically doing like one of the first person, like what we were talking about, Dishonored, Atomic Heart, one of those styles, but with killer clowns. That would be incredible. I would buy that, finish it, play it again, do it a third time. That sounds awesome.
I would even.
Like a horror adventure game of the killer clowns, just because there's so many that you could do you could do the system of having like henchmen running around. You just fight basic clowns, and then you go fight as bosses, the main
Gaming
clowns.
companies anymore just shit the bed when they make anything, even if it's new, a remake.
That's just it. They just like one. It's really bad with games anymore. Is one game gets popular, and then it's just clone after clone after clone after clone. Like we've been playing a few of them, like the Pickle Pete one you were talking about, and you said you didn't really care for Brotato. I mean, Brotato came before. That's what spawned Pickle Pete, and it usually ends up being that way, that you find like a dumbed down version that's better, just because the person doesn't like.
It's an upgrade.
That's what I'm saying, but like Lone Survivor, I'm sure you've got a billion ads for it on your phone. That game was from Vampire Survivors. It was a $3 game of exactly that game, to where you just get upgraded weapons. You'll get like a different attack, and it's one of those move around, collect gems kind. And it got really famous. So now there's like so the difference is they run off an XP system, and that's when you get your upgrade. Whereas Brotato has like a timed system. Vampire Survivors is 30 straight minutes with no breaks, unless you get like a loot chest, and then it's like 30 seconds of a loot chest opening. So Brotato is like you could take your time in the menu, whereas Vampire Survivors is like you're picking that upgrade, and then you're going right back to fighting. But are we at the timer already? All right, well, as per usual, don't forget, like, follow, subscribe. Go check out our older videos. We got a whole list now. You can go look. Audio's not as good as this one, hopefully will be, but still plenty to love with all our guests. So that's Gagg Reel. We do have the Instagram up now. You can go follow that. The TikTok's got a little bit more posted on it.
And my gaming channel. Can't ever forget my gaming channel.
And I was getting there. Don't forget to go over to Gaming Gets. You've got him for Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for that one as well.
And actually, some of the games we talked about today, I will be playing on there.
Yeah, there you go. So go check all that out. Let us know how we're doing. But until then, we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.